So here's my Glock 23 Gen 4 that I set up for concealed carry. I'm going to show you some of the things that I put on it and review those products and tell you what I like and don't like about it. Let me say that I bought this Glock 23 because I already had a Kel-Tec Sub 2000 in 40 cal, and it took the Glock 40 mags, and I had a Glock 27 that I carried for a while overseas, and I liked it. I liked how small it was and the firepower that it had, and I thought, well, wouldn't be bigger, be a little bigger be better. I didn't want to go to the Glock 22 because I'm just not comfortable carrying something that big. So I landed on the 23, and I made some adjustments. I left the internals factory. I probably am going to try a 3.5 pound ghost connector. I've never shot one, so I don't know what it's going to do to my trigger, or what it could do to my groups. And so let me get into it. I replaced the mag release with an extended mag release. It was a little sharp when I got it. I just hit all the edges with a file and deburred it. And a lot of guys say, well, you're going to drop that when you don't mean to. But that hasn't been my experience. I don't have 10,000 rounds through this like a lot of guys do, but I've shot about 1,500 rounds, and I've never accidentally dropped my mag. I think that's got a lot to do with hand placement, maybe the size of your hands. You have big banana hands, your thumbs are going to hit that and accidentally dump it. But it works for me. I got the extended slide stop because that's how I'm used to dropping a slide, and my left arm was injured in 2008, and I just don't really have the strength or the dexterity to use that over and over again. It would be okay in a self-defense scenario, but when I'm at the range and I'm going through mag after mag after mag, I just can't use my left arm. So due to the nature of my injuries, this is what I use to drop my slide. I also went with an extended takedown, or I guess Glock calls it a slide lock. It's just a little lone wolf. I think it was $10 on Amazon. And I've heard people say, "Oh, you're gonna disassemble your gun when you don't mean to." I don't think so. I don't even know if using just one side will disassemble the gun. So no, putting one side down didn't disassemble my gun, and I don't know how I would get both sides down. So I don't find that to be true. I think it just makes my life a little easier, and anything that can make my life easier, I'm all for it. And it was a cheap way to upgrade your Glock. So regardless of what you guys have heard in other videos, you cannot accidentally disassemble your gun with an extra 32nd of an inch of slide lock on each side. And then I went with a slug plug. I just like the way it looks and really don't want any debris getting up in there. So I put it in. It doesn't really do anything to the gun. It doesn't add hardly any weight. Probably only weighs a couple of grams. So I like it in there. I recently went with this clip draw. It is the original clip draw. And frankly, I thought it would bend when I got it, but I can really kind of torque on this, and it just snaps back into place. I guess it's spring steel. It does have a little bit of up and down movement, but it's carried reliably for me. The retention's good. I can't really say anything bad about it. I'm having trouble finding a holster that I like, and now that I put the Crimson Trace laser guard on it, that makes it even harder. I could probably have a custom Kydex built somewhere, or it's not very hard to build one yourself, just a hair dryer, or even put them in a toaster oven or something, and you can mold those Kydex sheets around. But this is working for now. And then the Crimson Trace laser guard, it's in green and I like that so much better than the red ones, like the Laser Max and that. It is a lot more expensive than the red lasers, but the green and red don't even come close to comparing when you're talking about using it in the daylight. You know, you can see it I can see it in full sunlight at 25 yards. So I guess depending on your eyesight, of course I wouldn't use the laser at 25 yards, but at your normal combat distances, this is great. I like it because I can fire before I complete my draw stroke. You can fire accurately with a laser just as soon as you can get your muzzle towards the target. You can see, you know, how to correct your aim and fire at just the beginning of your draw stroke. So that's why I like it. And believe it or not, the green laser is powerful enough for target identification inside a dark room, depending on the reflective surface. If you're shining it onto a dark wall, it's not going to reflect as much light as shining it onto a white wall or a white ceiling, and it will illuminate enough to ID your target. Maybe not a birthmark, but you know, if it's a threat or not. So I like it a lot, and I'm sure I'll keep that on there. I don't think there's any one perfect carry gun. So that being said, I think this is a very good option. I only carry it when I go to the city. I live just a couple of miles outside of a town of about 8,000 people, and there's really no threat here. So I usually carry something smaller, LCP, Kel-Tec PF9, because there's no real threat. It would only be... I don't even think we've had a robbery here in I don't know how many years. It's been decades. So, but you never know. So that's why we do carry, just in case. So, but when I go to the city, I get rid of the LCP, I get rid of the PF9, and this is what I go to. And I usually carry a spare mag. I just been putting them in a cargo shorts pocket. Cargo pants or cargo shorts on the side pocket, but I probably do need to get a little Kydex mag carrier. You never know when you're going to need more than 13 rounds. So, and I don't want to carry the 22 round mag. So I think carrying a spare mag and a flashlight is probably a real good idea. So other than that, I think this is a real good setup. I like everything on the gun. I like the finish a lot. I just moved back to the States after being abroad for 9 years, and I bought a lot of handguns at the same time, and I've noticed the finish on this Glock wears better than a lot of other finishes. I think it's called the Tenifer finish, and I've carried this one more than any other full-size gun, but some of my other guns they're getting scratches here and there, maybe even a little surface rust, you know, if I shot them and didn't clean them right away, or they got in the rain or something. But this one's held up really, really well. I had planned on Cerakoting this gun, the slide and the lower, but I won't remove that Tenifer finish. I'm not going to blast it off. I will just acetone bath that, degrease it real well, and then I'll shoot right over the top of the Tenifer. And that's what, if any of you guys are getting your Glock Cerakoted, I'd leave that finish on there, and then just have them shoot over the top of it. But I'll be bringing some more reviews of guns that I have. I'm not going to do a terrible amount of guns and gear review. I'm just going to do what I have and what I like. And actually some of it that I don't like, just to, you know, try and steer you guys clear of some of the stuff out there that doesn't work so good. So be on the lookout for my other videos. Share, like, and subscribe, and I would appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.